The teacher disguised himself as a student and slipped into the classroom. He saw that all the students were busy writing cheat sheets. No one noticed him. Everyone just assumed he was a new transfer student, but no one expected he was actually the proctor for the monthly exam, and also a graduate of this very school. He had returned to teach, in hopes of marrying the beautiful principal, but the condition was, he had to turn around the city's worst performing high school in just 1 month. What the principal didn't know was that the man had a reward system. If he successfully reformed the school environment, the system would grant him generous rewards. So he confidently headed to the principal's office to apply for the job, but the principal didn't believe him, since many teachers had already failed before. To test his ability, she first assigned him to invigilate an exam. The man didn't refuse. In fact, he volunteered to wear a school uniform and blend into the class. The moment he stepped in, he noticed the room was filled with students cheating. Once he fully understood the situation, he walked up to the podium and announced he was the exam proctor. The students didn't believe him at all. Some even mocked him, until the homeroom teacher showed up and confirmed his identity. The whole class panicked. He then told all the cheaters to stand outside the door, and sternly warned everyone to stop relying on cheating. But soon, strange sounds came from outside the window. He went out to check, and found students from the next class trying to pass answers. He immediately stopped them, but when they saw he was a teacher, one quickly claimed he had a stomachache and needed the restroom. The man directly exposed the lie, and even repeated their secret code word for word. The students were instantly stunned. He returned to the classroom, and saw that some students were still itching to cheat, so he came up with a clever plan. He wrote a fake answer key on a spare exam paper, then found an excuse to leave the room with the other proctor. Before leaving, he told the class the surveillance system was broken, and asked them to behave. Outside, the other teacher asked why he did that. He simply told her to open her phone and watch through the remote camera. Sure enough, a few students rushed up to copy the fake answers, bragging that they were definitely getting full marks this time. They even called more classmates to join, but before they could celebrate, the man returned and collected all the papers on the spot. Not long after, the principal heard what happened, and told the man to meet her in her office the next day. He had passed the first test, but the principal gave him a new task: collect every student's phone within a week, or he'd be reassigned to janitorial duty. The man accepted the challenge with confidence, but as soon as he stepped out of the office, he saw students picking up food deliveries. He told them to hand over their phones, but the students were sure he wouldn't dare search them, so they turned and walked away. The man just smiled calmly. Then he suddenly shouted at his voice assistant. Immediately, phones hidden in pockets started ringing. The room fell silent. Only 2 students didn't react. He praised them on the spot, then asked for their names. But next, he used the voice assistant again, and asked it to call one of the students' contacts. That one sentence made the girl's hidden phone go off. The class was completely impressed, but later that night, instead of going to supervise evening study, the man walked into the office instead.